Happy Saturday, guys. Today's workout is for time. You have 30 minutes to complete this one. Again, you don't have to time cap yourself. It's 33 all the way down to 9 of wall balls, dumbbell snatches, pull-ups, and calories. This workout is meant to work on your aerobic capacity, so we want to be as consistent as possible with our movements, our sets, and not take too long of a break in between those sets there. Wall balls here, guys. If you don't have med balls at home, that's fine. You guys can use practically anything at home that you feel comfortable tossing up against the wall. It could be a pillow if you want. You can also use that as a wall ball for your workout there. Then dumbbell snatches there. Find an object, single arm, get it overhead safely. And then pull-ups and calories here, guys. Pull-ups. If you don't have that pull-up rig, you can go into that towel pull-up position. So if you can attach a towel into your door frame and then make sure it's secure before you do your pull-ups, you can use that as your pull-up progression, or some bent over rows are perfect as well for those pull-ups. Then calories here, guys. If you don't have a machine, we can go for some burpees here. I would recommend burpees out of everything. It's getting easier to track, and I think the double unders will not be as efficient unless you double up the reps. So if you want, you can go 66 reps here, 54 reps for that with the double unders to substitute it for the calories there. Again, guys, the progression to use, just be consistent, try to be moving the entire time. I would say you should be able to finish the sub 30, but keep that time range in mind. This is a little bit of a longer workout rather than a shorter or moderate type workout. Once you've done this one, guys, we're gonna go for some core work. We're gonna alternating Tabata, so 20 seconds of leg lifts, 10-second rest. Then we're gonna go 20-second hollow rock. And we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna work on that core, guys, working on the hip flexors and then trying to maintain a good hollow body position and rocking in that position there for the 20 seconds. So it's a good little afterburner to get your core fired up and make sure you're hitting those right positions. Hope you guys enjoyed today's workout and the afterburner. We'll see you next for the warm-up video. Alright guys, so for today's warm-up, we're going to start off with some mobility for the shoulder and for the hip. So we're going to start off with 3 and 3 shoulder rotations in that lunge position. So we're going to get down into the bottom of the lunge, stay nice and static, nice and upright. With that arm, we're going to keep the elbow locked out, everything neutral, going all the way overhead. As we reach that top point, we're going to twist that palm out and all the way through until our palm is facing the opposite way and the thumb is facing backwards to us from that original position. Then we're going to go back to that reverse position, coming back, twisting that palm continuously, and ending up with the back of the hand facing out towards you, towards the camera, with the thumb facing forward this time. Going for 3 on one side, then we'll switch our stance with our legs and do 3 more on the opposite side. Once you're done with the shoulder, we're going to go into that hip. You've probably done this one before. We're going to go from the quadruped position. So we're on the floor here, guys. Make sure we're keeping everything nice and straight and we're not twisting or flexing in our trunk or back. We're going to try and keep that nice and straight. So we're going to lift that knee up. Draw a big circle all the way around. Notice when I come back here, I'm not going to arch my back. I'm going to keep it tight and just focus on moving that hip joint as I keep that back nice and controlled as best as I can. I'm going to go for 3 in one way, 3 in the opposite way, then switch legs and do the same thing on the opposite side. After that, guys, we're going into 2 sets for the warm-up of hollow body marches. So 20 hollow body marches, guys, are coming down to the floor. Hollow body position here. So start from that pike position, tighten up the core, sit back. Legs are off the ground. And from here, guys, we're going for 20 alternating marches here. Bring the knee as high as you can for 20 reps here. Really trying to pull with that hip flexor each time we do that knee tuck. Once we're done those 20, guys, we're going to flip over into our inchworm. So we're going to come up to the standing position, walk our hands out to that push-up, go for 1 push-up, and then from there, guys, we're going to walk our calves out, feeling that stretch in our calves. Couple reps there. Then walk your hands back in again to open up. We're gonna do that 3 times. Once you're done those 3 inchworms, we're going into 5 and 5 dynamic step ups. So we're gonna get that heart rate up a little bit, get a little bit more dynamic and fast with our movements. So you're gonna find yourself a box, or if you have a step, you can go off of a step here. We're doing 5 per side. So you're gonna leave 1 foot on the box the entire time. And as you're doing it, the opposite leg, you're gonna try and lead up and stand up as fast as you can. So I'm gonna start with my left leg on the box. I'm staying nice and upright. I'm gonna drive through that leg. As I come up, I'm gonna bring my knee as high as I can, then bring that foot back down again. Then again, you're gonna go back up, quick knee, back down again. If you feel comfortable, you can do them unbroken, where you go up, back down, really trying to get nice and springy off the floor, and really powerful through those hips to drive that knee up. 5 and 5 per side. Once you're done, grab your kettlebell, dumbbell, or any weight that you're going to use for kettlebell swings. I'm going to use a dumbbell here. I'm going to grab 1 bell. Going into about squat position here, guys, with my feet, chest up nice and tall. I'm going to push my hips back, let that kettlebell swing back. Then I'm going to drive it straight overhead. As I do that, guys, I'm using the drive from my hips to get that dumbbell all the way overhead. So make sure you're not trying to pull it with your arms overhead. You're really utilizing those hips to drive your weight overhead. 2 sets of that, guys. Once you're done, we'll see you next for the workout standards.
Then you're going into your wall ball, so grabbing that soccer ball, that basketball, volleyball, whatever you got guys at home. If you got something, if you don't have a med ball per se, okay? So going into your target, so maybe it's the side of your house, guys. Trying to throw it as high as you can. Then back into that squat, okay? Or if it's a heavier object, try to be consistent with your target. If it's light, high as possible. If it's a weighted object, hit that target. Starting with the alternating snatch. I got a dumbbell here, guys. So depending what you have at home, your starting position might be slightly different, okay? So what I'm getting at is if I have a smaller object, I might have to squat down to reach it versus leaning forward and rounding my back. That is usually your go-to, more natural, kind of lean forward, reach for it. But then that changes your spine position, does not keep it in neutral position. So try to get in the habit of hinging with the hips, okay, squatting down if your object is a little bit smaller, okay? To avoid using your back or compromising your back position, use those legs. Just like any lift here that we would use with a barbell, you would deadlift it from the floor. From there, you guys are gonna drive your hips, heels into the floor. As you drive your elbow slightly back, then quickly turn it around and punch it to the ceiling, okay? Avoid that 2-step because it's not a clean and press, it's a snatch, okay? So one fluid, continuous movement all the way overhead. Start off with a bent over row. So in that bent over row, feet are hip width apart, knees are perpendicular, go around your back, so flat back. If you're feeling tight, maybe you're up a little bit more, that's fine. If possible, drop down. From here, you guys are gonna row that bar, in my case, as close as you can to the body. So if I had a single object, I'm still thinking about nice and tight with my elbows, not to the body, but the back, to allow me to mimic that tight bar path that I can get with a PC pipe or bar. Okay, let's go over the afterburner today. As mentioned on the whiteboard, it's really to get a double workout today, guys. It's Tabata again, so you're alternating movements, going for 8 rounds. Okay, so it's gonna be a 4-minute workout. Okay, so it's a short one, so make sure you're find the right progression that is intense enough for you, okay? The legless over an object, I'm gonna use a ball. I'm gonna start by progressing from my elbows. If I'm on my elbows, I'm trying to push my belly button into the floor to work toward that hollow position. Raise my legs over my object. Again, raising my legs over the object. As I get going, I'm trying to keep my core engaged. Now, this movement you're using a little bit more of your hip flexors, but leaning back, you're not gonna really find them as much. So if it's available to you, try to progress. From the elbows, you can go to the hands, as long as you're trying to work to that hollow position, okay? If the hands are available to you, lock those arms up and bring your hands by your hips. Okay, same thing. Now I'm starting to, I can feel my hip flexors, I'm using them a little bit more. If you want to progress a little bit further, you bring your hands forward. So you can start reaching toward, or walking with the hands towards your knees, bring it further, guys. Big thing I find is I try to push into the floor as I'm kind of turning my palms into the floor. So if I turn my palms into the floor, I push my belly button into the back. So I'm getting that hollow position. From there, I'm gonna go side to side. Common movement is to go on the fingertips. That's fine, but if possible, work towards on the flat. Okay. 20 seconds of that. Then after the 20 seconds, your hollow rock. You are going to rock back and forth. So finding the right progression again. I'm gonna get you guys starting off in that dead bug position, but your shoulders are off the floor. You can grab your legs. Try not to kick your legs like I just did, so it's not a kick. Okay? Think about flexing your abs, relax. Flex your abs, relax. Flex, relax. So that's what creates the rocking. If that's available, if that's possible and manageable for you, let go of your legs. And then the next progression is, can I lower my legs to the right height without swinging my legs? If your legs are fairly low, you can go to the side, okay? If you want to go overhead, you can. Once it's overhead, you can use the tension in your shoulders to rock faster by really pushing down to the floor with your arms, which creates a little momentum. Keep those arms straight though. You're doing 20 seconds of your hollow rocks before you start round number 2. It's 8 rounds total, so 4 minutes of work today for that afterburner. Have fun with this one. It's gonna warm up that midsection, get you guys going for the day, okay? See you tomorrow in the workout.